Good day. This is my presentation on circularity applied to buildings in Slovenian Drive Zero demo cases. My name is Jure Vetršek and I come from Institute for Innovation Development, University of Ljubljana. There are some Slovenian specifics which we are addressing with our solutions for retrofit of residential buildings, taking into account circularity as much as possible. One is that 2/3 of population live in, let's say, rural area in single-family buildings. That means we have dispersed settlement pattern. We are combining what we have, what we found out during the research in frame of Drive Zero, meaning industrial capacity for circularity and do-it-yourself skills that are in self-construction that are highly being exploited in Slovenia. Of course, we do also indoor environment quality measurements to prove what happens with buildings and indoor environment quality after the retrofit. First pilot case is multi-generational building in Radovljica. This is how the building looked before. We did thermal imaging. Here there are images already before and after. On the left, after, we see no thermal or no significant thermal bridges. The retrofit took place with mostly rock mineral wool. Exterior was insulated. The whole envelope was insulated, including the cellar. On the left, you can see the insulation with cellar. On the cellar, it has already final look, so you don't need any finishing materials. Skylights were installed to exploit natural daylight, and the blown insulation was used for the attics. This one is interesting because it's almost 80% recycled from glass and has no binders or additives. Concerning the renewable energy and services, heat pump for heating was installed. There was already existing solar water heating collectors, mentioned skylights. All lights were replaced with LED, and local heat recovery devices were installed to improve indoor air quality. This is how the building looks now after the retrofit. Some images from the inside. These on the left are cellars, which look quite nice for a cellar. On the right, there's skylight, how it looks in the bathroom. It has no windows. We did extensive measurement campaigns before and after in various spaces. Here are just a few examples. We see temperatures before and after. We had a high variation of temperatures before, and now with good insulation, they are more flat, and also the comfort categories according to standard are much improved, as you can see on the lower part. Similar to another room, which is kitchen. We did measurements also of CO2, and we see how the categories of indoor environment quality improved with the renovation. The other demo case is in Škofja Loka, also deep retrofit, replacement of windows, facade, pitched roof, basement, ceiling insulation. Also in the first demo case, old mineral wool was taken by Knauf Insulation and recycled. We recycled also roof tiles, and some wood paneling was used for other purposes. This is the building before the renovation. Thermal imaging was done before and after. Here we see a lot of thermal bridges, and the building was in quite poor condition. Exterior facade was insulated, cellar and ceiling of a cellar and roof. This was done with recycled materials of rock mineral wool. There are different types were used, all of them including at least some part of recycled materials. Another innovative example was given in the demo case Škofja Loka, first time in Slovenia. The diagonal 2H ventilated facade system was applied. It was improved in terms of attachment, so it's now attached with screws, so the disassembly is easier, and the steel structure was optimized. Concerning the renewables, there was already central heating with wood pellets and heat pump for sanitary hot water. There's a plan also for central heat pump. Local heat recuperation was installed, and all lights were replaced by LED. This is the image of the building after the renovation. It looks like a new building. Also, monitoring campaigns were done in this place. You can see the improvements of thermal comfort and air quality measured with CO2 in one of the rooms. The third case was most extensive because it was also reconstruction. So some annex was added to the building, some part was then demolished, and also there was static retrofit. And of course, the whole thermal envelope was retrofitted. Old mineral wool was taken back to Knauf, as we see in the future. We applied some new technologies together with industrial partner Ibakedi. We did 3D scan with laser and 360 camera, and this was paired, meaning you could measure, you could get right measurements from the image, rotating the image and measuring distances from there. Here we can see old mineral wool that was in building. It was taken to the Knauf Insulation Slovenia, and it was recycled, then transported back to the site and installed in whole building envelope. Also new wooden windows, 3 glasses were installed in this demo case. R-rated concrete from demolition of some walls and annex was taken by local company Xela, and it was recycled. The new material, because one annex was of the building was rebuilt. So this is mentioned industrial circularity. Concerning the innovative solutions, prefab panels for facade were developed together with Richter prefabricated houses. This was their first time doing something like that. Here is the 3D image. It was taken from the point cloud. Things were manufactured at the company premises. Also, the simulations were done. And it was installed in place. Here on the left, you can see also a heat pump that was installed, and wooden panels, prefabricated wooden panels. Photovoltaic power plant simulations were done. This is not yet installed in this demo case due to limitations of the transformer station, because this is a rural area and there are a lot of PV at the moment, and grid has some bottlenecks, but it is foreseen this will be solved in 2 years, so they could install PV then. There are some interesting cases of microcircularity. When the building was emptied, all the furniture was either sold or given. Windows were saved and would be used for a greenhouse. Here's a small example of microcircularity practice, how planks from the inside were used for a simple closet, and how reinforced concrete from the balconies was used for less demanding application of the wall in the garden. These microcircularity practices we are stimulating also via the circularhomes.eu platform. It was developed as part of Drive Zero project. We did extensive ethnographical anthropological inquiries, and here are some brief findings. As mentioned at the beginning, in Slovenia, self-construction, do-it-yourself is widely taking place. For this, skills are needed, and here people try to ask friends and others they know how to get the right skills, how to do something, and here are some gaps that could be exploited in the future. There are still in the rural area sense of community. Neighbors are helping each other. one of the problems that found out was the contractors that come to the site, because not everything is done by self-construction, they have poor organization. Of course, when talking about circularity issue are costs of the transport, because you need to transport old materials that have low monetary value, but the transport is costly. One of the interesting insights is that people feel good because they use material again and it's not dumped. So on the end, when talking about construction waste or other, everybody just wants to get rid of it as fast as possible and as easy as possible. So it's our task to make this people-centered, friendly, and usable the long term. Thank you for your attention, and see you.